Right, so as you heard, a good crowd gathered here for this one. The Austin Greyhounds and the Paynesville Pirates. I don't know if they set things up this way, but really it seemed to have been a lot of north against south matchups here in this first round of this state tournament. Seems like most of the games that we've seen have been a team out of the north region versus a team out of the south region, and not much different here as Austin obviously down in the southern part of the state and Paynesville kind of central Minnesota, but a little more in the northern region of the state. So another good north and south matchup here. So the home team will be the Austin Greyhounds. And their starting pitcher is Nelson. Nelson will be the starter here for the Austin Greyhounds. They go with the veteran 36-year-old Nelson. Went to Lyle High School. So they turn the ball over to a KG veteran at 36 years old, and he will face the Paynesville Pirates, and it'll be Grayson Fuchs to start things off here for the Pirates. And first pitch is down low for a ball. Drew Tangen will bat second, the right fielder. Luke Johnson, the shortstop, bats third. Grady Fuchs is the pitcher designated hitter, bats fourth. Swing and a miss by Fuchs after the first pitch low. Abe Bullard plays third base, bats fifth. Garrett Lusink, first baseman, bats sixth. Curveball hangs up in there, turned on by Grayson Fuchs, but pulled foul. Tanner Stanley, the left fielder, bats seven. Griffin Bjerke, the catcher, will bat eighth. And Sam Orlean is batting ninth. Center fielder, fly ball out into left field. Alex Ciola is under it. The wind is blowing in very briskly here today, so not going to help any balls out towards the outfield. You'll have to really step on one to get one into the gaps out here into this strong, brisk wind. And that ball hung up easily for Ciola to get under, no problem. And Drew Tangen will step in for Paynesville with one away. Grayson Fuchs is retired on the fly out to left. Now Tangen, the London Spicer graduate, takes one low. Two balls, no strikes now. To Tangen, he's a Paynesville. There's the wrong number listed for him. We'll get that corrected. Strike called to Tangen. Two balls, one strike. Tangen just 18 years of age, so probably just graduated high school. Foul back to the screen. Even things up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes, so what you see in amateur baseball, mix of youth and veteran players. Nelson, 36-year-old pitcher for Austin, faces somebody half his age in Tangen and gets him to roll one over to second base. Torres up with it, tosses it over to Miguel Castro at first. And 2 quick outs here in the top half of the first inning, just underway from Waconia. Opening round game of the Minnesota Class C State Amateur Baseball Tournament. And Luke Johnson take a pitch high for a ball. And one right down Broadway. Called strike. Johnson plays college ball at Gustavus. Fouls one out of play off to the right. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Luke Johnson for the Paynesville Pirates. Pitch misses up by Nelson. Let's see what this crafty veteran does here at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the number 3 hitter in the lineup for Paynesville. Spins a curveball. Johnson swings over the top of it. So Nelson, clean, efficient 1-2-3 inning, and like a veteran will do, he just saunters his way back to the dugout for his high fives and his congratulations for setting the tone and hanging a 0 on the board. So no score for Paynesville in the top half of the first. It'll be Austin, and we'll be back to bring you their starting lineups after this. Quick word from PrepSpotlight.tv.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Town Ball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.
As we talked about, a mix of young and old here in the State Amateur Baseball Tournament. That's what you get. The starting pitcher for Austin is 36-year-old Nelson. And the starting pitcher for Paynesville is 20-year-old Grady Fuchs. Fuchs does his pitching during the school year for St. Cloud Technical College, who advanced to the National Junior College World Series this past spring. So you see a veteran on the mound for Austin, and then we go with the youngster here for Paynesville. And Fuchs will face a lineup of the Austin Greyhounds of the left fielder Alex Ciola, followed by the first baseman Miguel Castro. Third baseman Jordan Hart bats third. Catcher Nestor Jimenez will bat fourth. Second baseman Eric Torres bats fifth. Pitcher DH Nelson bats sixth. Alex Shoemaker bats seventh, plays right field. Anthony Ciola is the shortstop, bats eighth, and Isaac Schumacher bats ninth and plays center field for the Greyhounds. And we are set to go here with the bottom of the first. And Ciola takes the pitch down and in. The first offering from Fuchs. Ciola, the 23-year-old, played Austin High School and then Riverland Community College for college ball. Takes called strike, so 1 ball, 1 strike early on here. Fuchs spins one in that just misses down and in. A little backdoor slider or curveball there from Fuchs, but good discipline by Ciola to lay off those pitches. Now they'll bust him inside. Fouls it back behind us. Talked about this in the previous games if you've been with us, but if you're new, lots of room behind home plate. So anything that gets past the catcher is for sure going to be at least one base for any base runners who would be on. And now spinning a curveball outside is Fuchs. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ciola. And he chops one over towards the Hounds dugout. Right across the front of their jersey, it says Hounds. They are the Austin Greyhounds. They go with the Hounds nickname on the front of the jersey. 6th pitch of the at-bat hits him. Bounced on the ground. Fuchs really tried to overthrow that one. So maybe just seeing a little bit of the difference between the veteran Nelson, who just came out firing strikes, and here Grady Fuchs maybe trying to overthrow a little bit here in his state tournament start for Paynesville. Walks the leadoff batter on 7 pitches. And Castro will step in, bunts it right in front of home plate. Fuchs comes up with it. Makes the throw over to first, so the execution on the sacrifice bunt by Castro is a good one. 1-3 is the put out on the sacrifice, but it does move Ciola up to second base, and that'll get Jordan Hart to the plate for Austin. Hart, Austin High School, and then Mankato State University. Some say Minnesota State, but I've always thought and considered it Mankato State University. Minnesota State Mankato, I know, is the college's preference to go by, but as a St. Cloud State University grad and having a lot of rivalry games against Mankato, they're still Mankato State to me. First pitch misses down and in, and now a curveball spins high. So Fuchs struggling a little bit to find the strike zone here. He walked Ciola after a 7-pitch at-bat. He did get Castro on the sacrifice bunt on the first pitch, but now misses consecutively. There's a little humpback liner. It gets over the head of the shortstop, Johnson. They're going to hold the runner up at third because Ciola had to wait and see if that ball was going to get caught or not. It was just a little fister, but it got up over the head of the shortstop, Luke Johnson. When it fell to the ground, Alex Ciola took off for third, but the stop sign was given as the center fielder, Sam Orline, came up with it and threw it back in. A big wide turn at first by Jordan Hart as first base had been vacated, but he stayed right there. And now Fuchs misses up high to Nestor Jimenez. So Austin with an opportunity to jump out front here early in this one. They've got runners at the corners with just one away, and their number 4 hitter up to bat. He hits a line drive into center field, coming on, not being able to make the catch, and it's going to get by the center fielder or line. Coming in to score easily is Ciola, and checking in at third is Hart, and second with an RBI double is Nestor Jimenez. So again, he didn't hit that one overly hard, but it was a sinking line drive that the center fielder, Sam Orline, came in, made a dive for, but couldn't come up with it. It trickled past him, and by the time he got up and got it back into the infield, Ciola had scored. Hart came around and checked in at third, and Nestor Jimenez pulled up at second with an RBI double. Eric Torres will bat, swings and misses at the first offering from Fuchs. Runners at second and third, chance to do a little bit more damage here for the Greyhounds. Curveball catches the inside corner from Fuchs. So after Fuchs releases the ball, he takes a couple 3 steps towards home plate. So it'd be interesting to see if anything hard back up the middle, if he's going to be able to field it. He's really trying to throw hard here in this first inning against the Austin Greyhounds. They got a walk to lead off the game from Ciola. Sacrifice bunt moved him to second. Hart with a little looping line drive into left center field for a hit, put runners at first and third. Then the RBI double from Jimenez has him in the lead, and now a big strikeout of Torres by Fuchs. gets him to chase that slider off the plate. So there's 2 away, so trying to minimize the damage here in the top half of the first inning. Grady Fuchs will try to get Nelson here. So the pitcher going to try to help himself out here as the 2 counterparts. Number 3 will go do battle here. Good scoop there by Bjerke, the catcher, to keep that one in front of him. Anything gets past the catcher here, and a run is easily going to score from third base. There's a ton of room back behind home plate. There's actually a lot of room in foul territory all around Lions Park or Lions Field. The lines do kind of jut in towards the foul line as you move out past the dugouts, but it really juts away and leaves a lot of room down the lines, first and third base, as a foul pop-up drifts out of play. With that wind blowing probably a good 10 to 15 miles an hour, that's going to push any ball like that up and out of play. Garrett Lusink gave chase from his first base position, but no chance to come up with that one. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes from Fuchs to Nelson. And he checked his swing. They say he didn't go, and they'll check with the plate base umpire, and he says no. Nelson did not offer at that pitch, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Grady Fuchs trying to minimize the damage here in the first inning. He's given up a run, but with runners at second and third, he got a big strikeout. Now a little looping line drive into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. The outfielders can play pretty shallow with that wind, but Nelson was able to jam fist that one out into left field. It fell in front of Tanner Stanley. In to score the second run of the game came Jordan Hart. Checking in at third was Nestor Jimenez. Really no chance for him to score from second on that soft looping line drive. And a very shallow left fielder in Tanner Stanley. In fact, all of the outfielders are playing a very shallow outfield here. But a big 2-out RBI single for Nelson has runners at the corners with 2 away and bring up Aaron Schumacher. Takes a pitch high, and then Fuchs spins in a curveball across. Even the count up at 1-1. Another curveball, defensive swing by Shoemaker there. Just fouled it off of the catcher Bjerke. And run the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Paynesville definitely wants to get out of this one with just the 2 runs on the board for Austin. You don't want to fall too far behind. High fastball is swung on and missed by Schumacher, so the strikeout ends the inning. But Austin is able to come up with 2 runs on 3 hits, and they take a 2-0 lead here through one inning of play. And we'll be back with the top half of the second for you after this timeout from PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
To the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
All right, to the top of the second inning, and Grady Fuchs will lead things off, the pitcher. He had to labor in that top half of the first inning, or bottom half of the first inning, gave up 2 runs to the Austin Greyhounds, so he'll try to get something going in Paynesville's half here, but swings and misses at the offering from Nelson, so no balls and 2 strikes after he chopped the first one foul down the first base line. So ahead in the count, 0-2, the crafty veteran, Nelson. There was a little changeup in there that Fuchs shoots foul and out of play, back off to the right. We remain at no balls and 2 strikes, and boy, that wind is really starting to kick up now. Nelson, another off-speed pitch that runs off the outside corner low. Another pitch that just misses low and away, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the number 4 hitter, Grady Fuchs. Another one misses low and away, so Fuchs now has run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, trying to get on base here. Get something going for the Pirates. They trail this one early, 2-0. Chopped foul. Back behind home plate. Staying alive is Fuchs. Paynesville will try to do what happened in our previous game here. As the team that fell behind early in the game came back, won it. Chopper to third. Charging in. Good play by Hart. Makes it throw on the run and is able to get Fuchs. So on the 3-2 offering, after battling back to get into the count at 3-2, Fuchs fouls one off and then hits a chopper down the third base line that Jordan Hart made a good play on. Got the out. It was Fergus Falls who fell behind Hanska 2-0. But came back and won the game 4-2. So Paynesville watched that happen in the game before them, and they'll try to chip away at this lead and see if they can't make a comeback themselves. A looper out it just by second base, but going back and calling it for it and making the catch is Eric Torres. So 5-3 on the ground out of Fuchs for the first out, and then a little pop-up to the second baseman. Torres off the bat of Abe Bullard is out number 2. So Nelson, the 36-year-old right-hander for Austin, has set down the first 5 Pirates. First pitch swinging, lifted into left field. Alex Ciola drifts over and makes the catch. So a very efficient top half of the second inning. 6 up and 6 down for the veteran Nelson of Austin, and he gets his team right back in to try to put some more runs up on the board against Grady Fuchs and the Paynesville Pirates. And the state amateur tournaments are in full swing. The Class B and C tournaments will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there's nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, PrepSpotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or on PrepSpotlight.tv. This will be 8-9-1 for the Greyhounds. Anthony Ciola, Isaac Schumacher, and Alex Ciola, who led the game off with the walk and scored the first run of the game for the Austin Greyhounds. Fuchs fires a fastball that stays up high. So falling behind early in the count once again. He struggled a little bit with his command in the first inning. Now busts one in on the hands of Ciola, and it's popped up behind home plate. Griffin Bierke gets rid of the mask, goes back and easily puts that one away. So a pop foul to the catcher on the second pitch of the inning is out number one. And Isaac Schumacher will step in for the Greyhounds. Number 9 hitter in the order is Isaac Schumacher. Played his high school ball in Austin. Will pop up in the infield. Third baseman comes over, calls for it, and makes the catch. So Abe Bullard had to take charge of that one. It was kind of in between the shortstop, Johnson, the pitcher, Fuchs, and the third baseman, Bullard. And Bullard made a nice running catch. So 3 pitches and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Let's see if Alex Ciola doesn't make Grady Fuchs have to work a little bit here. Leadoff batter for Austin. You'd think that he might take a couple of pitches here and at least make Fuchs work up a little bit of a sweat here in the bottom half of the second inning, because he's gotten 2 outs on just 3 pitches here so far. Squares, curveball, rides in on him. He spins away from it. Takes it for a ball. Fuchs snatches that ball back from Bierke, unhappy with himself that he didn't get ahead. Strike 1 on that curveball, as it looked like the hitter Ciola was just kind of giving up that first pitch on a square to bunt. Now up and high out of the strike zone. As we suspected, Ciola is going to take a couple of pitches here. That one catches the outside corner for a strike, so 3 pitches to get the first 2 outs, and now 3 pitches to Alex Ciola. Has a 2-1 count on the board. Spins up a curveball high, 3-1. Ciola walked in his first plate appearance. Riverland Community College product, Austin High School. And once again, Fuchs looks down at that landing spot. Didn't like the way that plant foot landed and missed way up and out of the strike zone. So for the second inning in a row, Alex Ciola is on base via the base on balls and gives Austin a base runner with 2 outs. And Miguel Castro will come in. He laid down a nice sacrifice bunt to get Ciola out there to second base in his first plate appearance. We'll keep an eye out and see if Ciola doesn't maybe try to steal a base here and get into scoring position, as Fuchs catches the outside corner with that fastball to get ahead of Castro. No balls, 1 strike. They'll check on Ciola over there at first. He dives back in safely. Castro played high school ball for Austin and then went and played college ball at Waldorf University in Forest City, Iowa, which is not too far of a trek from Austin, just across the border into Iowa. Closer, more straight south of Albert Lee than Austin, but still not too far away from Austin, Minnesota. Curveball spins in there, 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Time is called. Castro got something in his eye, it looks like, so umpire quickly jumped up and granted the time. We'll keep an eye on Ciola. This is a running count, and Paynesville thinking the same thing. Has Fuchs throw over to first and check on him with 2 strikes on the batter and 2 outs. Even if Ciola were to get thrown out, that would give the batter a fresh count, but he doesn't go anywhere, but he swings and misses, and it gets away from the catcher. And because there were 2 outs, even though first base was occupied, he does get to try to advance. And we talked about all of the room that there is here at Lions Field. So on the strikeout and the wild pitch, Ciola will move up to second and Castro will take first. And suddenly Austin's got a little something going here with 2 outs. It started harmlessly enough with 2 outs in 3 pitches to start this inning. Now Fuchs again, maybe overthrowing just a little bit here. Leaves that one in the dirt. Good job by Bierke to block that one and keep those runners right there at first and second base. Hart singled in his first at-bat. That one spins just inside. So going to that curveball behind in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Just missed inside with that one, so it's 2 balls and no strikes now to the third baseman, Jordan Hart. Good hitter's count here. A runner out there at second, but no, this one spins him around in the batter's box. So 3 balls and no strikes now to Jordan Hart. Singled and scored a run in the first inning. So what looked like potentially a very harmless bottom half of the second inning, 2 outs recorded in 3 pitches. Suddenly now, Grady Fuchs finds himself in a bases loaded 2-out jam, and Nestor Jimenez, who came up with an RBI double in his first at-bat, will have another opportunity to drive in runs here for the Austin Greyhounds. Nothing stirring out of the Paynesville dugout. They're going to ride with Grady Fuchs here. Thought that after losing a little bit of command, might come out and have a little discussion with Fuchs, but they're just going to leave him out there, and he fires a fastball past Jimenez for strike 1. So the bases are now loaded. Ciola at third, Castro at second, Hart at first. There's 2 away. Curveball swung on and missed by Jimenez, so very aggressive is Jimenez in that batter's box. He took the first pitch and drilled it into center field for an RBI double just last inning. Try to do some more damage here. And that one goes off the glove of the catcher. Bounds over towards the Austin dugout. And that's going to give Austin another run here. I think that's going to be ruled a passed ball. That just went off the end of the glove of the catcher, Bierke. Wasn't in the dirt or any other problems with it any other way. It just got on top of Bierke maybe a little faster than he thought, and he couldn't get that glove up in time to squeeze it. It went over by the dugout. Now the curveball, swing and a miss, so they get the strikeout of Jimenez, but what looked like going to be a fairly harmless bottom of the second inning turned into a bases loaded jam, and a run scores on the passed ball. So 3 runs on the board here through 2 innings for the Austin Greyhounds, and Paynesville has yet to see a base runner on base through their first 6 at-bats, so they'll have to get something brewing here in the top half of the third inning against Nelson. If they find themselves in a 3-0 hole, we'll be back with that action for you in the top half of the third after this quick word from our sponsors.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
We go here to the top half of the third. It's Tanner Stanley trying to get something going against the 36-year-old Nelson on the rubber for the Greyhounds, and the veteran has set down the first 6 Paynesville Pirates who have stepped to the batter's box. 1 strikeout of Luke Johnson, but otherwise he's gotten the defensive help behind him to set down the first 6 Pirates, but now misses outside and then down low, so behind in the count here. 2 balls and no strikes to the number 7 hitter, Tanner Stanley, the left fielder for Paynesville. Left-handed batter, catches the outside corner. The off-speed pitch. Clearly that's Nelson's strategy here. Change speeds. He's not going to blow it by too many people, but he's going to work that off-speed stuff, and maybe after seeing the off-speed, that fastball's just got a little bit more pop to it as that one bounces into the glove of Jimenez. Down low, 3 balls and 1 strike. And there's a 4 or 5 pitch walk. So just what Paynesville was looking for here, a base runner to start things off. And Griffin Berkey. And squares the bunt and then pulls back. Takes it for a called strike. Catcher Berkey. Nelson holds and now comes. Just misses off the outside corner. Even the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Tanner Stanley is the runner at first base. Got a pretty decent lead over there. And that one rides in and hits Bierke right in the thigh. He's a catcher. That's not going to bother him. He'll take his base, and now suddenly Nelson finds himself in the first jam of this game. 2 runners on, nobody out. That's going to bring a trip out to the mound from the manager of the Austin Greyhounds, Joe Ciola. He'll have a little discussion with his entire infield and his pitcher. I'm sure Nelson's probably looking at him going, "Come on, coach, I've been in this situation hundreds of times. I know what to do here." He's just got to bear down. So Sam Orline will step in, the number 9 hitter. So after getting the first 6 Pirates in order, a walk and a hit batsman has given Paynesville now an opportunity with 2 on and nobody out, and Nelson misses low and away as Orline squared the bunt, but pulled it back. I think it was last game I talked about that. That's great discipline. Don't bunt balls. Make that pitcher come in with a strike. If he's going to throw 4 bad ones and not let you bunt, you'll take the base and move up those base runners without having to give up the out. So good discipline at bat here so far by Orline. Squared the bunt twice, but neither were in the strike zone, so pulled it back. Both the first and third baseman are even with the bags. Now he tries to drag one and bunts it foul. So really wasn't necessarily going for the sacrifice bunt there. He was going to try to drag one down that first base line and maybe try to beat it out for a base hit, but bunted it foul back behind the catcher Jimenez. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to the center fielder Orline. Squares, pulls back again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Middle infielders are at double play depth. You got Castro, the first baseman, and Hart, the third baseman, just slightly inside the bag at the corners, but 3 balls and a strike here to Orline. He squares, pulls back, takes it for ball 4. So suddenly now Paynesville, without the benefit of a hit, have the bases loaded with nobody out and turn the top of the order here for Grayson Fuchs, and that's going to bring out the manager for Austin, and I think that's going to be it for Nelson. So 2 very efficient innings to start the game by Nelson, the 36-year-old veteran right-hander, but then he just lost command here in the top half of the 3rd inning. He walked Tanner Stanley, hit Griffin Bierke, and then walked Sam Orline on 5 pitches. Again, tip your hat to Sam Orline. His job was to lay down a sacrifice bunt there and move those runners up, but he only saw 1 strike, so don't bunt at balls out of the strike zone, and you might pick up the walk, which he did, and now rather than 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, it's bases loaded, nobody out, and that's it for Nelson in the game, and a new pitcher will stride out of the dugout. It's going to be Drew Copley. Went to Grand Meadow High School. So Copley, the 20-year-old, will take over on the rubber. So you lose 16 years of experience out on the mound, but in watching the warm-up pitches, Drew Copley definitely has, more pop on his fastball than what the veteran pitcher Nelson would have on his. So Copley will come in a tough spot here. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the top of the order coming for the Paynesville Pirates. Grayson Fuchs will be the leadoff batter. Fuchs, the youngster, just 17 years of age, so the high schooler, but he will be going up against another young hurler on the mound for Austin in 20-year-old Drew Copley. So an opportunity for Paynesville to get right back in this ball game. They're down 3-0, but have the bases loaded and nobody out here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Their leadoff batter, Grayson Fuchs, looks at a pitch down low in the dirt. Good block by Jimenez to keep that ball in front. Not to let those runners to move up a base. Tanner Stanley is 90 feet away, and that one's down low as well. So 2 balls and no strikes to Grayson Fuchs, the youngster for Paynesville, the high schooler, 17 years old, up in a big spot here for the Pirates. And strike right down the middle. So a big pitch for Copley there. He's able to get that 2-0 pitch in for a strike and catches the outside corner. The Paynesville faithful didn't like that one. They thought that pitch might have missed outside, but the benefit of the call goes to Copley. Even the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a little chopper out towards second. Probably only going to, get the tag there. The throw to first is not in time to get the speedy Fuchs. So the ground ball went out to Torres at second. He was able to field it, spin, and get the tag on Sam Orline coming by him. Tried to fire it over to first to complete the double play, but too much speed by Grayson Fuchs. So on the ground out, Fuchs does pick up the RBI. So it's 3-1 now for Austin. And runners are at the corners for Drew Tangen. Orline is out 4 unassisted. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Interesting how that home plate umpire stands up straight and tall to call that strike call. points that finger out. Going to be no problem determining whether he's calling that ball a ball or a strike. Oh, a swing and a miss by Tangen. So no balls and 2 strikes now to the number 2 hitter in the lineup for Paynesville. Tangen's got an RBI sitting out there at third base if he could get the ball out of the infield. Another young player here, just 18 years old, is Drew Tangen, Paynesville High School product. From the stretch, Copley, a swing and a foul back to the screen, so kind of a late swing by Copley there, or by Tangen off the delivery from Copley. We stay right here. No balls and 2 strikes. Grayson Fuchs with good speed at first. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take off here with runners at the corners. He is leaning back towards home plate. That one's lifted down the left field line. Chance to tag. Good running catch out there by Bullard, the third baseman. He throws it in. It gets by the catcher, but right there backing up nicely is Copley to scoop that one up before Bierke could make the play. So it was Jordan Hart who went back from his third base position, made that catch running away from the infield with his back to the infield. Bierke tagged up, acted like he was going to go, but he would have been dead meat had he tried, as Hart threw a strike to home plate. Jimenez was not able to handle the throw, but the decision had already been made by Bierke to not try to advance, and Copley did a nice job of backing that play up and keep those runners from advancing. So now we have runners at the corners with 2 away, and a first pitch swinging strike to Luke Johnson. He struck out in his first plate appearance. He's got runners now at the corner, 2 away, trying to come up with a big 2-out RBI hit. Here comes the throw to second. Fuchs is stealing, and he is out. So they threw it down, and they caught stealing of Grayson Fuchs. 2-6 on the putout of the attempted steal. So a bases loaded, no out situation produces just 1 run for the Paynesville Pirates. A good job by Drew Copley to come in and minimize any sort of damage by the Paynesville Pirates in that one. Bases loaded, nobody out, and they can muster just the 1 run. They do cut the lead down from 3 runs to 2 at 3-1, but they had an opportunity potentially for a big inning there, and were just able to come up with the 1 run and make it a 3-1 ball game through 2.5 innings of play. So we'll take a short break and be back with the bottom half of the third for you after this timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment.
We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
So Eric Torres will lead things off here in the third for Austin. They've got a 3-1 lead here. Bottom 3. Fuchs misses outside with the first offering. Torres struck out in his first plate appearance. That one misses off the outside corner as well. 2 balls and no strikes now to the leadoff hitter in the bottom half of the third. Eric Torres, the second baseman. Curve ball is hooked foul down the third base line. Torres stayed back nicely on that breaking ball from Fuchs. Fuchs not afraid to throw that hook down in the count. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to the number 5 hitter in the order for Austin. There's a curve ball again. That one's looped down the left field line, and that one will fall in for a base hit. So Torres leads things off with a single here. Fuchs went back to that curveball, and once again, Torres stayed back nicely on it. Pulled it, this time fair, down that left field line, and has a leadoff single in the third. And now Nelson will step in. He will remain in the game as the designated hitter, even after he was taken out as the pitcher. Squares to bunt, and again, the veteran player, he's not going to bunt at anything, not in the strike zone. Pulls the bat back, takes the first pitch for a ball. Curve ball, and that one hit him in the helmet. He doesn't, I think, know it. He thinks it hit him in the, he thinks it hit the bat. Sure sounded like helmet from here. They haven't put a strike up on the board. Oh, they do say that that hit his bat, not his helmet. It sure sounded like the sound of plastic, not the sound of wood, but he did not get the bat out of the way of that high curve ball. Now there goes the runner to second. The throw is in time. Another caught stealing. So consecutive innings, we've had a runner cut down trying to steal a base. Torres looked like he got a very good jump there, but a great throw from Bjerke down to Fuchs covering at second, and the caught stealing 2-4 will erase the base runner. The pitch was called a ball, so 2 balls and 1 strike now to Nelson, who had an RBI single in his first at bat and swings at that offering on the outside corner and swings through it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Maybe Paynesville will use this momentum, spinning a curveball up too high, so 3 balls and 2 strikes now to the designated hitter, Nelson. Torres led off with a single, but was cut down trying to steal, and now base hit just inside the bag at third for Nelson. So, boy, that caught stealing looms large. 2 batters and 2 base hits out into left field here to start the bottom of the third, but the caught stealing erases the first one of them. So now we're right back where we started. Runner at first base, this time with 1 out, and it's Nelson. Now squaring the bunt is Shoemaker, and bunts it foul. Not sure if he was necessarily trying to just sacrifice there. He looked like he was trying to place that one in between the pitcher and the third baseman, get it out rolling towards that shortstop position and see if he couldn't beat something out for a base hit, but bunted it foul. Curveball just misses high by Fuchs. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the number 7 hitter, Andrew Schumacher. And Fuchs reaches back for something extra on that one, but misses it outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now to the right fielder, Andrew Shoemaker. Chopper towards second. Nelson lets it go past him, so they'll have an opportunity to get the force there. Nelson didn't want to get hit by that little chopper, so he stopped, and that allowed the second baseman Fuchs, Grayson Fuchs, the opportunity to get the lead runner and get the force out. Otherwise, I think if Nelson runs hard right straight through there and doesn't get hit by the ball, he probably forces Fuchs to take the out at first and would be out there at second base, but he had to slow down and not get hit by that chopper, and alertly Fuchs, aware of that, got the lead runner on the force out at second base. So again, another runner at first, different runner. This time it's Andrew Schumacher, but now this time it's with 2 outs, and Anthony Ciola takes a called strike. Now curveball across. So it looks like Grady Fuchs might be settling down a little bit here. Not trying to overthrow quite as much as he was early in this one. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Good curveball there. So good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Anthony Ciola. It's 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and that'll do it for the Greyhounds in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. So we've played 3. Austin leads this one 3-1. Drew Copley will head back out for his 2nd inning of work, and we're back to Waconia for you after this.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Luke Johnson will step in to lead things off for Paynesville here. They were able to scratch out a run in the top half of the 3rd inning to cut this deficit down from 3-0 to 3-1, but they had the bases loaded and nobody out. So maybe left a couple out on the base paths there in that 1-run 3rd inning, but they'll try to get something going as Grady Fuchs was able to hang the first 0 on Austin in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and now strike is called at 2 balls and no strikes to Luke Johnson. Drew Copley will charge and get this one on one hop. Casually turns and fires it over to Castro at first. So after falling behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, Copley is able to come back and get Luke Johnson on the little chopper back to the mound. And now Grady Fuchs will step in. Fuchs, the pitcher, also listed as the designated hitter. He grounded out to the 3rd baseman Hart in his first plate appearance. No balls and 1 strike as that pitch comes across, and now the next pitch catches the outside corner. Our home plate umpire stands up and signals that strike call. No balls and 2 strikes now. And a little chopper towards first. Castro will toss it over to Copley covering. Good execution of the right side ground ball there, as Castro had to move a little bit to his right, so underhanded toss to Drew Copley covering first base, and they're able to get the out. Copley did a nice job of coming across diagonal and then running up the line. Good fundamentals by Copley there. Strike called now to Abe Bullard, the 3rd baseman. He popped out to second baseman Torres in his first plate appearance. A lot of young pitchers will just run straight to the base at a 90-degree angle and make it a really tough toss for the first baseman, whereas they're taught to run at a 45 angle to the line, then run up the line so that first baseman can lead that runner more properly. Ground ball, diving attempt by Torres, but not going to be able to get it as Bullard chopped one in between the hole between first and second. Long run for Torres, unable to get to that ground ball. And it's a 2-out single for Bullard. Gets a base runner for Paynesville here. And Garrett Lusink will step in. Lusink flew out to left. He was the 6th out of 6 consecutive outs recorded by Nelson to start this game, but then Nelson ran into trouble in the third. Walked the number 7 hitter, hit the number 8 batter, walked the number 9 hitter before being pulled for Drew Copley, who's now out here for his 3rd inning of work after coming in relief of Nelson. Gets one across there for a strike to Lusink, so 1 ball, 1 strike. To the left fielder, Lusink. Gets jammed there, turns on it. Chops it fouled on the third baseline. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Copley ahead in the count here now, 1-2 against Lusink. 2 away, there's a runner at first. We've already seen 2 base runners cut down trying to steal second base. Both of these catchers, Nestor Jimenez threw out Grayson Fuchs, and then Griffin Bierke returned the favor to Eric Torres in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Copley misses up high with a curveball, so even the count at 2-2. And the pitch is swung on and missed by Lusink, so on the strikeout. That'll take care of the Pirates in the top half of the 4th inning. So we'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. Austin Greyhounds hanging on to a 3-1 lead over the Paynesville Pirates here in an opening round game of the Class C Minnesota State Amateur Baseball Tournament. Good crowd here. They're enjoying some refreshments from the concession stand. Waconia doing a great job as they're part of the host of this 3-city host tournament. Chaska, Hamburg, and Waconia. I got to believe they're providing many of the same services at Chaska and Hamburg, but my home site here has been Waconia. And we've been a pleasure to bring you this action from the State Amateur Baseball Tournament. 3 weekends full of baseball action. We'll have every game for you here on PrepSpotlight.tv. And we'll be back after this short break.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
It'll be the number 9 hitter, Isaac Schumacher. Tries to bunt one and chops it foul. The first offering from Fuchs. So after laboring quite a bit through those first 2 innings, Fuchs kind of settled down a little bit in the third. He did give up a couple of singles, but helped when his catcher, Bjerke, threw out Torres trying to steal, and then he got consecutive ground ball force outs at second base before striking out Ciola to end that third inning. And now a strike 3 called after a hook on 0-1 was also called a strike. So Isaac Schumacher goes down looking. So consecutive looking strikeouts for Grady Fuchs. And it seems like he is kind of settling in a little bit here. That one comes in and catches Ciola on the right elbow. Fuchs is going to come in. Maybe he was going to ask the home plate umpire if maybe Ciola didn't stick his elbow out into that pitch. It was a little bit inside, but I don't think it was that far inside. I would think that Paynesville might have an argument here that really Ciola stuck his arm out and got hit by that pitch versus it hitting him. But didn't seem like there was too much dissent from the Paynesville dugout or the pitcher or the catcher combination here, so they'll go ahead and give Alex Ciola his base. It's a 1-out base runner for Austin, and Miguel Castro swings and fouls one back off to the right, off the screen. Excellent grandstand here at Lions Field in Waconia. Curveball is shot foul over toward the Austin dugout. So besides hitting Ciola with the first pitch, Fuchs has gotten ahead of the Austin hitters here in this bottom of the fourth inning. He got a called third strike against Schumacher, and now a called third strike against Castro. He turned to the home plate umpire as if he didn't believe it, but that was a really good pitch from Fuchs. Breaking in, definitely caught part of the plate, was certainly in the strike zone above the knees. So, home plate umpire once again with that good posture, standing up tall to make the strike call. And now here's a ball that is going to be in the dirt. It's going to get past Bjerke, go to the backstop. And that'll give Ciola second base. Opportunity here for Jordan Hart. Hart's been on base both times, singled and scored in the first, walked, was stranded at second base in the second. That one spins inside. Hart not happy as first 2 pitches from Fuchs were both in tight on the third baseman for the Austin Greyhounds. Hart played college ball at Mankato. Another one inside. He's not happy at all here, but once again now with the base empty and a right-handed batter on deck, I wouldn't be surprised if Hart doesn't get a whole lot to see here from Fuchs. Oh, but he fires one right down the heart of the plate, so they are going to challenge Jordan Hart here. So we'll see if he sits here on a fastball at 3-1 or if maybe Fuchs, thinking that, might go off speed. No, challenges him with a fastball, and it's just tipped foul off the catcher, Bjerke. So at 3 balls and no strikes, Jordan Hart, good player here from Mankato State University, Minnesota State Mankato. Fuchs says, I'm going to go ahead and challenge you with some fastballs. Comes with a curveball that time, off speed, and gets Hart swinging. So, sandwiched between a hit batsman of Alex Ciola, Fuchs strikes out the side in the bottom half of the fourth inning and will get the Paynesville Pirates back in that dugout and see if they can't get something done here against Drew Copley and the Austin Greyhounds. So we're through 4 complete innings of play. It's 3-1 for Austin. Back with the top of the 5th for you after this. Timeout.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Tanner Stanley will be the leadoff hitter, 7, 8, and 9 for Paynesville, but this is where they did the damage in the 3rd inning. It was Stanley, Bierke, and Orline who all reached base for Paynesville to lead off that inning, but Drew Copley was able to work his way out of that jam. And he comes and fires a strike against Stanley. Stanley has scored the 1 run on the game for the Pirates on an RBI ground out and a line drive, base hit into center field. So Stanley gets things going for the Paynesville Pirates here with a base hit up the middle. Second hit of the game for the Pirates. And Griffin Bierke, the catcher, will step in. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. He squares, bunts it down the third base line. It's a good one. Hart will come up, throw it over to Castro, the first baseman covering. So the sacrifice works. For the Pirates, Bierke laid down that bunt nicely. Get that runner out there in scoring position. Try to chip away at this 2-run deficit. Still a lot of ball game left to be played in this one. Orline, who walked in his first plate appearance, he was tagged out by the second baseman Torres on that ground ball from Fuchs in the 3rd inning. On the play, Tanner Stanley did come in to score, but then Fuchs was caught stealing second after Drew Tangen popped up foul to third base, and that ended the threat for Paynesville. But now they've got another base runner on here. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Orline. And he swings and lifts one, fouled on the left field line. Giving chase is Ciola, but really no chance to get that one. It was kind of drifting foul to begin with, and that wind continues to just push those balls, hit that direction away from the playing field and towards the out-of-play fence. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to the number 9 hitter, Sam Orline, for the Pirates. In our previous game here, this afternoon. It was the number 9 hitter in the lineup who came up with 2 big hits, had an RBI and scored a run, and was named the player of the game in a 4-2 victory for Fergus Falls. So Paynesville hoping to get that same sort of production out of their 9 spot here with Sam Orline. Pitch is down in the dirt, so Orline's ahead in the count now. 3 balls and 1 strike. They would love to get another base runner on the paths here for the top of the order for the Pirates of Paynesville. They trail it 3-1, but kind of slowly just chipping away at this deficit that they were behind 3-0 after 2 innings of play, but they got 1 in the 3rd and now hoping to pick up maybe some more here in the 5th. But a strike on the outside corner to Orline will run the count full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here to the center fielder, Sam Orline. Runner out there at second. He's got a good lead. He'll get a good secondary lead, and the pitch misses up. So a 3-2 fastball misses up and out of the zone for Fuchs, and that's going to bring another trip out to the mound for a discussion, as it'll be the top of the order coming up in a 2-run game. 2 runners on. Grayson Fuchs will be the batter. He's the youngster out of Paynesville High School, just 17 years old. So a big spot here for the youngster from Paynesville. The Pirates, they break up the meeting at the mound. They're going to stick with Copley. I do see some stirring now over in the Austin Greyhounds bullpen, as Grayson Fuchs will step in. Runners at first and second, 1 away here in the top half of the 5th inning, and Fuchs swings and fouls that one out of play and off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. They do shade Fuchs just slightly to the right field side in center field. Now the second baseman will come over, Torres, and try to keep that runner close. And now Fuchs kind of bails out of that pitch. Takes it for a strike. Didn't like the call. Thought that pitch was high. Many of the Paynesville Pirate faithful agree that one might have been up and out of the zone, but umpire stood up, called it a strike. So no balls and 2 strikes with Torres keeping that runner close at second. There's a big hole over between first and second, but Fuchs just sticks the bat out and hits a little pop-up to Torres. Fuchs gives a look to the umpire as he walks by. It may have felt like the bat got taken out of his hands a little bit there with that high second strike call, but you can't let that sort of thing bother you. A young player like that will quickly learn. Can't let that stuff take you out of the at-bat. But a little defensive swing caused a little pop-up that Torres caught. Infield fly rule was in effect. But Torres put that one away for the second out. So now 2 away, and Drew Tangen shoots one back to the screen for strike 1. Copley works from the set. He'll hold. Now comes and misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Drew Tangen. Tangen, Paynesville High School product. Left-handed batter. Swings and lifts one high in the air to right field. Torres is going back. This is the right fielder's ball, but Torres just takes charge and says, I'll take it. Normally you'd like that outfielder to call that infielder off and have him give way. But Torres hustled out there, got underneath it, and went ahead, called that one off. Called off his right fielder, Schumacher. and hauled it in. So Copley is able to work out of the first and second one-out jam here and put another 0 on the board for Paynesville. So we're halfway through this one. Austin Greyhounds with 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, still cling to a 3-1 lead over the Paynesville Pirates. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th for you after this quick timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Town ball tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here, the kids are here, it's safe, it's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
And Nestor Jimenez will lead things off for Austin here. It was his RBI double that got the scoring underway for Austin here in this one in the bottom half of the first inning. Fly ball, center field. This time the center fielder will take charge. That's Orline. He calls off the shortstop and the second baseman. I'll handle this one. Puts it away. So on a fly ball to center field on the first offering from Fuchs, Nestor Jimenez flies out to center field. So 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Fuchs really settling in here now. He labored through those first 2 innings, but has been much more clean and efficient through the 3rd and the 4th here. Curveball, swung on and missed. He's just working at a better pace. And seeing that, Torres will step out, kind of get Fuchs out of his rhythm a little bit here. Fuchs is ready to go, though, as soon as Torres steps in. He's really feeling it, and he fires a fastball past him. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and a strikeout of Eric Torres. And that's 2 quick outs here on 4 pitches in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and Nelson started the game on the mound, got the first 6 outs, but then proceeded to walk, hit batsman and a walk, and he was taken out of the ball game. Turned it over to Drew Copley, who's done a good job in relief. And Fuchs really feeling it now, gets a strike call and then spins a curveball past Nelson. Nelson will step right back in though, and I would just fouls one back to the screen. Fuchs looked like he was trying to throw it through the glove of Bierke there, and Nelson just got a piece of it to stay alive at no balls and 2 strikes. So 7 pitches and 7 strikes. It'll pop up behind home plate. Bierke gets rid of the mask and gets it charging off the mound. Is Fuchs. His confidence is high right now. He is really kind of settled in here for Paynesville. So on 8 pitches, he takes care of the Austin Greyhounds in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That's going to send us to the top half of the 6th. We'll be back with that action for you after this timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv from the Minnesota State Amateur Baseball Tournament.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
All right, Paynesville. 3, 4, and 5 here to face Copley. Jensen checks his swing, but it's a called strike. Probably went too far anyways. Kind of trying to keep an eye on the radar here. Chopper right back to Copley. He snares it. Underhand toss to Castro, and Johnson is out. 1-3 on the putout as Copley does a good job of fielding his position there. I think Torres probably would have had a play on that ball had it gotten by, but it would have taken a really good strong throw to get Johnson hustling down the line, but Copley does a nice job of fielding his position. Ground ball backhanded by Castro. He'll have to throw it overhand to Copley covering, and they get Fuchs on one swing. So 1-3 is answered by 3-1 in the scorebook. 2 quick outs here in the top half of the 6th inning for the Paynesville Pirates, and Copley working efficiently here in the top of the 6th. 3 pitches and 2 outs. So we'll see what Abe Bullard does. Bullard just popped out to second and singled. 1 of 2 hits on the day for the Paynesville Pirates. Tanner Stanley also has a hit, so between Nelson and Copley, they've given up just the 2 hits here through 5 2/3. And a swing and a foul back to the screen, so even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Copley has done an excellent job in relief of Nelson as he took over with the bases loaded. Nobody out in the 3rd inning and gave up just a 1 run. And since then, he has scattered 2 hits, no runs, and works here in his 4th inning work. Misses inside and then misses away to Bullard. So now 3 balls and 1 strike. Bullard doing a good job of making Copley work a little bit here. After getting the first 2 outs on just 3 pitches. He swings, gets jammed, rolls it behind shortstop or behind the pitcher's mound and before the shortstop. Anthony Ciola can come in and make the play. Hustling down the line, beating that out. Gabe Bullard has an infield single and a 2-out base runner for Paynesville. So the 2nd hit of the game for Bullard, 3rd for the Pirates. And it'll be Garrett Lusink, the first baseman, step in for the Paynesville Pirates. Lusink, the 22-year-old, played Paynesville High School, not listed as a college, so must choose to not play college baseball, but play for the town team of Paynesville during the summer. Takes a pitch, low for a ball. And now Copley looking like he's just trying to aim that one in the strike zone and misses down and away. So after getting the first 2 batters on just 3 pitches, Copley now walks Bullard on 5 pitches and falls behind Lusink. 2 balls and no strikes. Lusink flew out to left in his first plate appearance and then struck out, ending the 4th. Jimenez will go out and have a word with Copley. Maybe he kind of saw the same thing, that Copley was just trying to aim that one in towards the strike zone rather than throw it. When you start to aim the ball, that's when you lose command and lose control. So Copley needs to just have the confidence to throw it across. Now gets that one on the outside corner, but again, didn't have the same type of zip that we've seen off of his pitches in the past, so was able to find the strike zone with that one. Get back in the count here at 2 balls and 1 strike against Garrett Lusink. And misses low there as well, so I'll look over. I don't see any action in the Austin dugout, so maybe the person that was warming up previously is ready to go if needed. But Copley just seems to have lost a little bit of command on his fastball here in the top half of the 6th inning. And he misses up and away, so ball 4 to Lusink, puts runners at first and second. And Tanner Stanley will step in. Stanley walked and scored in the 3rd and singled in the 5th. So on base both times. Tanner Stanley. Got a little bit of rain, precipitation moving into the area here, so we'll kind of try to keep an eye on that for you. Stanley with a big cut there. Looks like it's just going to be precipitation to start, but then there's a little bit of yellow and red coming behind it, which would indicate lightning. So if that were to happen, they would call these players off the field and put the game into a delay. And a swing by Stanley and fouled back off to the left and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. So Copley, after falling behind and then giving up a little infield ground ball single to Ballard on 3-1 and walking Lusink, has gotten ahead of Stanley at 0-2, but tries to spin a curveball on the back door and loses the grip on it a little bit, misses it up high. Jimenez is able to jump up out of that crouch and handle that one. Keep it there. Certainly don't want to allow that runner from first base to get down to second, represent the tying run in scoring position with 2 away here in the top half of the 6th inning. And now Copley misses up and away to Stanley. Looked like they may have been thinking about some sort of a timing play on the pickoff. Almost had a balk move from Copley, but he was able to maintain his balance and fire one that just missed. Stanley not chasing anything out of the zone. And the pitch is fouled off and spoiled again. Copley seems to have gotten a little bit more zip back on that fastball here against the left-hander Stanley. But Stanley doing a good job of spoiling that pitch there and fouling it off down the left field line. So we'll go again here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch, lifted in the air to shallow left. That's going to fall. Around third comes Bullard, and he's going to come in to score. So Stanley didn't hit it all that hard, but found the line down that left field line and was able to land it in between the line and a charging left fielder, Alex Ciola. And by the time Ciola played it on a bounce, around third came Bullard and scored the 2nd run of the game for the Paynesville Pirates. So again, what looked like was going to be a very innocent top half of the 6th inning here. That's going to bring a trip out to the mound. And I'm going to bring all the infielders in here to talk it over. The run is on the board for Paynesville. They had put 2 up there on the board, but now they've corrected it to just 1 run on the 4th hit of the game. But the meeting on the mound is over. Still nobody warming over there in the bullpen, although now I do see one of the Austin Greyhounds draft choices starting to get loosened up down there, but they'll leave it up to Copley and Griffin Bjerkley. Bjerkley swings and misses at the first offering from Copley. No balls, 1 strike. Paynesville, after seeing their first 2 batters retired on 3 pitches, they now suddenly got 2 hits and a walk. Parlayed that into a run and cut this lead down to 3-2. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Jimenez jumped up like he was going to try to throw down and get Lusink too far off the base at second, but nobody was there covering, and Lusink actually was not all that far off of the bag, so at no balls and 2 strikes, you don't want to throw something away into center field and allow those base runners to move up. So Bjerkley facing Copley here. Jam shot, and that's sent off foul to the right. Good job of Bjerkley of fighting that one off. That was a good pitch. Riding in on Bjerkley at no balls and 2 strikes. But he was able to foul it off. Bjerkley, just a 19-year-old, doesn't have a college listed, so high school player for Paynesville. Tries to get on top of that fastball, but can't quite get on top of it, so fouls it back and out of play. Stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes. They just made an announcement that there is some precipitation on its way to Waconia, but they will continue to play this game as long as they can play it. Pitch misses off the outside corner here. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the catcher. Griffin Bjerkley trying to potentially tie this game up with a hit to the outfield. Bring in Garrett Lusink, who stands out at second base, representing the tying run here in the bottom half of the top half of the 6th inning. And the pitch is fouled back and out of play again. So Bjerkley staying alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's got Garrett Lusink out at second base. Tanner Stanley on at first. Big lead for Stanley as they don't hold that trail runner on. Lusink, good lead at second and called strike 3. So after battling all the way through that at-bat, Griffin Bjerkley looks at a fastball right down the heart of the plate and takes called strike 3. So got to be a little disappointed in the way that at-bat ended. He fought and scratched and clawed, stayed alive, but then Copley was able to sneak a fastball by him for called strike 3, and that will do it for the Pirates in the top half of the 6th. They get 1 back. They've chipped away now. It was a 3-0 deficit. It's now down to 3-2, and with Grady Fuchs dealing on the mound, Paynesville's got to be feeling a little bit better about their situation right now, as they have scratched and clawed their way back into this one. It's 3-2. We head for the bottom of the 6th. The state amateur tournaments are now in full swing. The Class B and C tournaments will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there is nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, prepspotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or on prepspotlight.tv. It'll be Andrew Schumacher leading things off here for Austin. And Fuchs spins in a curveball, swung on and missed by Schumacher. Schumacher struck out to end the first inning and then grounded into a fielder's choice for 6 in the third. So 0 for 2 on the game for Schumacher. And there's called strike 3 on the outside corner as the count had ridden to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it's called third strike is out number 1. And as we mentioned, Grady Fuchs has really settled in here. Struggled through the first 2 innings, but boy, since then, Fuchs has really been much more efficient. Misses with the first offering here to Anthony Ciola. And now another one misses low and away. Nine strikeouts in the game. Make it 10 strikeouts, one of them which became a wild pitch and allowed a base runner to reach in Miguel Castro in that 1-run second inning for Austin. As Ciola watches the third offering go back to the backstop as well, so 3-0. Now Fuchs comes back with a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Number 8 hitter in the order. Ciola has popped out to the catcher and struck out looking and gets jammed. Fouls that one back and out of play. So back into the count at full is Grady Fuchs as he faces Anthony Ciola with 1 away here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Swung on and missed by Ciola. 11 strikeouts now in the game for Fuchs as he is really beginning to deal. And that is 6 strikeouts in just the last 4 2/3 innings for Fuchs. In fact, he struck out Ciola to end the third. So 7 strikeouts since 2 outs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning for Grady Fuchs. He misses low on the first offering, and Isaac Schumacher squares. Takes that one low. The scoreboard had 0-1, but the count is 2 balls and no strikes to Schumacher. And now missing inside again there is Fuchs. Maybe trying to overthrow a little bit again here against the number 9 hitter falling behind. 3 balls and no strikes, but he fell behind Anthony Ciola 3 balls and no strikes and came back to strike him out on 3 straight pitches. So we'll see if he can try to come back against Schumacher here. He squares and takes a strike called. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Fuchs has set down 7 straight Greyhounds, but now that streak will end as he walks the number 9 hitter. And let's see if Austin can't do the same thing that Paynesville did in their half of the inning, where the first 2 outs were made harmlessly, and then all of a sudden they got a little bit of a 2-out rally going and were able to scratch a run out of their top half of the 6th. So Austin will see if they can do the same thing here, turning the order over, and it's Alex Ciola who's been on base all 3 times with 2 hits or 2 walks and was hit by a pitch. So no official at-bats, but he scored 2 runs. Takes a strike and now another strike. So Fuchs comes charging off of that mound. He wants that ball back quickly from Bjerke. Runner goes. Curveball just misses, and there's going to be no throw at second on Schumacher. So he steals the base without a throw. I think that Paynesville was hoping maybe that was going to be called strike 3, but the umpire said that it just missed wide of the plate. So on the stolen base, Isaac Schumacher is out there now at second base for Ciola. And overthrowing that one again a little bit is Fuchs. Bounced it in there. Nice job of Bjerke to block that one, keep it in front, and keep that base runner right there at second base. And Isaac Schumacher run the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ciola. Curveball, line into left field for a base hit. They're going to have to hold up the runner there. They throw it behind him. Might have a chance, but he's able to scamper back to the bag. So an opposite field single into left field for Ciola. But with that wind blowing in and those fielders being able to play a very shallow outfield, it is difficult to get 2 bases, even with 2 outs and off with the crack of the bat. They had to put the stop sign up for Schumacher. He held up at third, so first and third now. 6th hit of the game for Austin. First one for Ciola, but once again, 4 at-bats and on base all 4 times is Alex Ciola for the Austin Greyhounds, the Riverland Community College product. Curveball misses to Castro. And now he misses outside with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes, so runners at the corners here, 2 away. So Austin is trying to answer Paynesville, who was able to scratch out a run after getting the first 2 batters retired in the top of the 6th. Big swing and a miss by Castro there. So got a pitch he was looking for. He's trying to tell himself, don't try to do too much here. You can see him kind of press his palms down towards the ground as if to say, dial it down a little bit here, Miguel. You don't have to kill it. Just got to find a hole somewhere. Get that runner in from third. Fly ball, center field, retreating back. Not able to get it. It's over his head. That's going to go to the wall. 2 runs are going to come in to score. And on a 2 RBI double, Miguel Castro has given the Austin Greyhounds a 5-2 lead. So what comes around goes around apparently here at Lions Field. In Waconia, Paynesville had 2 quick outs in their half of the inning and came back and scratched out a run. Now in the bottom half of the inning, 2 strikeouts to start it, but then a walk to Schumacher, a base hit by Ciola, and a big 2-out, 2 RBI double over the head of the center fielder. Sam Orline has given the Greyhounds a 3-run lead back in this one, 5-2. First pitch misses, so 1 ball and no strikes to Hart. Now he chops one foul. On-deck batter Jimenez takes a swing at it with his lead-weighted bat over there. Ricocheted into the dugout. They give it back to Jimenez. So give this to the umpire because you're going to be going there one way or another, either to catch or to bat. Now a curveball that comes in on Hart, and he's going to try to lay down a bunt, but a very difficult pitch to bunt on there. Would have behooved Hart to pull back and not try to lay that one down as that pitch was breaking down towards his back foot. But really couldn't get that bat out of the way in time and had to try to lay it down, bunted it well foul, so no balls and 2 strikes now to Jordan Hart. And strike 3 on the inside corner. Hart didn't like the call, but he's crowding the plate there, and that went just under his hands, caught the inside corner. But the damage gets done in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's a big 2-out, 2 RBI double from Miguel Castro to rebuild this lead up to 3 runs for the Austin Greyhounds. So we'll be back here for the top half of the 7th inning after this quick timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
I will head to the top of the 7th here. Big 2-out rally for Austin has regained a 3-run lead, and now there's a ground ball out to the shortstop, Anthony Ciola. He lays back on it a little bit off that grounder from Orline and has to make a strong throw over to Castro at first, and they do just nip Orline by a half a step. So Ciola kind of stayed back on that ball, didn't charge it as hard as he probably could have or should have given how softly it was hit, but trusted his arm, made a good strong throw over to Castro and got the out. There's a little looper out into right field off the bat of Grayson Fuchs, and he's going to have a 1-out single. 4th hit of the game for, make that the 5th hit of the game for the Paynesville Pirates. So they need base runners. Down by 3 here. Top half of the 7th inning. Drew Tangen steps in. So both Sam Orline and Grayson Fuchs, first pitch swinging. Orline, a little soft little grounder to short that Ciola was able to just nip him at the wire for out number 1, but then Fuchs lifted one out into shallow right center field. It fell for a base hit. There's a swing and a miss, swing and a foul back to the backstop after a check on Fuchs over at first. No balls and 1 strike on the right fielder, Drew Tangen. Left-handed batter. Fuchs has already been caught stealing once. I wouldn't expect him to be going anywhere. Down by 3. Oh, right back to the pitcher. Copley on the first for 1, or on the second for 1, on the first for the double play. So Copley fielded that ball, wasted no time getting it to Anthony Ciola, covering the bag at second. He stepped on it, fired a strike over to Castro at first, and 1-6-3, the pitcher's best friend, The double play ball gets Austin out of that one out runner on first situation with a 1-6-3 double play, and we will head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. A little shortened version of God Bless America for the fans in attendance here. And once again, just an excellent crowd here for this one in Waconia. And got a new pitcher coming out for Paynesville. So that'll do it for Grady Fuchs. He gave up couple of runs in the first, one in the second, then really settled in through the middle part of this one. But after striking out the first two batters and actually striking out the side in the sixth, he gave up a walk, a single, and then a 2-out, 2 RBI double to Miguel Castro. And so that will do it for Fuchs. Paynesville will bring in one of their drafted pitchers. Looks like Matthew Gruber is going to take the rubber. He pitches for the Starbuck Stars. A chopper foul off the foot of Jimenez. So it'll be Matthew Gruber, the 22-year-old, pitches for Concordia out of Minnewaska High School. Plays for the Starbuck Stars. And he has a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Nestor Jimenez. From the windup, curveball is shot foul. Gruber a little bit more deliberate with his windup. Fuchs, well, a lot of emotions on his sleeve out in the pitching rubber through his 6 innings of work. So we play here in the bottom half of the 7th inning as that one misses off the outside corner. We go 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curveball is drilled into left field, just off the glove of the diving Luke Johnson. And Nestor Jimenez has a leadoff single for the Austin Greyhounds here. Remember, the winner of this one will advance. They will take on the St. Patrick Irish in Waconia here next Saturday at 11 a.m. in the second round of the state tournament. There's a bunt out in front, charged by the third baseman. Bullard picks it up, makes a nice soft toss to the first baseman, Lucink covering, but the sacrifice is executed. It's our 3rd game of the day today, and we have seen some very excellent sacrifice bunting taking place. So Torres, who had singled, was caught stealing and struck out twice, gets the sacrifice down. Austin would love to pick up another insurance run here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They got 6 more outs to get to advance into that second round, and every run you can get for insurance is helpful. Now Nelson steps in, fastball is a strike. Nelson line drive, base hit out into right center field, and that's going to produce that run. Nelson with a big turn around first, but he's going to check in with an RBI single, and the lead is now up to 3 at 6-3. So Nelson, the crafty veteran, just shot that one out into the gap in right center field. came up with an RBI single. That's the second RBI of the game for Nelson, his third hit on the day. 3 hits and 2 runs driven in for Nelson, and the Austin Greyhounds now have a 6-2 lead here over the Paynesville Pirates as Andrew Schumacher chops one foul. Played there by Bullard, but on the foul side of the bag. Nelson will retreat back. Schumacher played at Austin High School, the 20-year-old. Doesn't have a college listed, so plays his ball, and there's a strike call on a good curveball from Gruber. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Andrew Schumacher. Swing and a miss, so Schumacher goes down swinging. That's the 3rd time that Schumacher has struck out this afternoon. First strikeout for Matthew Gruber. The 11th strikeout of an Austin Greyhound batter here. So there's 2 away now. And Nelson still over at first base for Anthony Ciola. Shortstop popped out to the catcher and struck out twice here has Ciola. Chops that one foul, so no balls and 2 strikes. Gruber working ahead here. Nelson, after the RBI single, is still over there at first base. Anthony Ciola. Shortstop. Neither team has committed an error in this one. So efficiently played defense. That one bounces in. Nice block there by Bjerke. Keep it in front. Keep Nelson there at first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes now is the count to Anthony Ciola. Gruber from the stretch. Works quickly. Misses. Low and away. Trying to get maybe Ciola to chase something off the plate, but nothing doing. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to the shortstop. And that one misses up and away, so we run it full now. 3-2. They should actually put Loose Ink behind the runner Nelson here, but they'll continue to hold him on because Nelson will get a running start here on the pitch. He goes. Fly ball out into right field. Drifting over is Tangen. He's there. Puts it away, so that'll do it for the Austin Greyhounds in the 7th. But good execution by Austin there to come up with another run. Jimenez led off with a single. He was sacrificed over to second by Torres, and Nelson find the gap out in right center field with an RBI single. And it's 6-2 for the Greyhounds as we will head now for the top half of the 8th inning. And it looks like we're going to get a new pitcher out on the mound for Austin. It's going to be Brady Schrader, who pitches for the Red Wing Aces, the Ellsworth product, who pitched for Winona State. Brady Schrader will come in and take over on the mound for Austin. They've built themselves a 4-run lead. And Schrader will come in here and face the Pirates in the top half of the 8th inning. We'll have that action for you right after this short break.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
That's Brady Schroeder. That's what the public address announcer went with, so that's what I'll go with. Brady Schroeder pitches for Red Wing, but now drafted by Austin, and he comes in firing strikes. Gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes on Luke Johnson here. Johnson 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out, grounded back to the pitcher twice, so the third pitcher of the game for the Austin Greyhounds. That pitch misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Johnson, and he checked his swing, and they're going to ask if he went. They said no. Check with that first base umpire, and he says that Johnson did not go, so no ball and 2 strikes has now turned into 2 balls and 2 strikes against Johnson as Brady Schroeder out of the bullpen has a 4-run lead to work with. Swing and a miss. So Johnson 0 for 4 on the day, 2 strikeouts and 2 ground balls back to the pitcher from that number 3 spot in the order, and it'll be bring up Grady Fuchs. Fuchs in the 4 spot, grounded out the third and grounded out twice, 3-1 on the putout. So between the 3 and 4 hitters for Paynesville, 0 for 7 on the day and have not gotten the ball out of the infield as Fuchs takes a strike on the outside corner from Schroeder. Curveball swung on and missed by Fuchs. So quickly ahead, 0-2, just like he got ahead of Luke Johnson, 0-2. Schroeder gets ahead of Grady Fuchs. Had no balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez asking for something up in the zone, and it's down in the zone. Way too good of a pitch. Had no balls and 2 strikes there. Schroeder really missed his spots there, but Fuchs grounded it just wide of the base, foul down the first base line. And it will remain here at no balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez put the glove up, way up in the strike zone, trying to signal to Schroeder that he wants to go up in the zone here against Fuchs, but way too much of the plate that time. Now the check swing there, and they do say he went. Fuchs not happy with the call, but I would have to agree with the umpire on that one. I think Fuchs did go after that pitch on the check swing. So a little bit of frustration, I think, out of these Paynesville Pirates as they trail it now by 4 runs at 6-2, and they're running out of outs very quickly as Abe Bullard will step in. He's got 2 of the 5 hits on the day for Paynesville. A strike called, and he takes a long look at the umpire after that one. Pitch on the outside corner at the letters. So Paynesville maybe starting to show a little bit of frustration here. Off-speed pitch, misses high by Brady Schroeder there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here, top half of the 8th. And a off-speed pitch. It's in for a strike. Once again, Bullard gives a long, hard look at the umpire after that strike call. That pitch is down in the dirt low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paynesville's got to stay focused here. You don't want to lose your patience. Let the emotions get a little bit better of you here. You still got 4 outs to work with, so got to fight and claw your way all the way to the end of this one. And Bullard does just that and fouls it back to the screen on the 2-2 offering. So we'll stay right here. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bullard trying to get on base for a 3rd time here. He's scored 1 of the 2 Paynesville runs, has 2 of their 5 hits. And he gets out off in front of the foot of that one, but barely gets a piece of it and stays alive as it goes back to the screen. Garrett Lusink will track that one down as well. Get that back into play. We are starting to see some light precipitation starting to fall here in Waconia. You look back on the radar, and another check swing, and they're going to go, and yes, they're going to say he went as well. But again, Paynesville not happy with the calls, but again, both times I absolutely think that batter did go after that pitch. And on the check swing call, they get the strikeout. So Brady Schroeder comes in and strikes out the side in the top half of the 8th inning. So the Paynesville Pirates will have one last go at it in the top half of the 9th. But before then, they're going to bring in a new arm here. Try to get another inning out of one of their drafted players here. Looking like, I really tell the number, that's number 6, would be Patrick Courtney. The pitch is for Wilmer. And that's who it is. It's Patrick Courtney. So they picked up Courtney from Wilmer. Courtney, the right-hander, pitched for Concordia St. Paul during his college days. Now throws for the Wilmer Rails. So he will get the 8th inning here for Paynesville. And he'll face the number 9 hitter, Isaac Schumacher. On the top of the order in Alex Ciola, who's been on base all 4 times. Tries to lay down a bunt. Picked up, fired off to first base, and gets him on a good play. So hopping off the mound was Patrick Courtney on that attempted bunt by Schumacher. Came up and had to fire a pill over to Lusink at first base, but did make a good throw and was able to get the runner Schumacher by about a step at first base. So the first out is recorded. And now strike 1 to Alex Ciola. Ciola's been a thorn in the side of the Pirates today, on base all 4 times and scored 3 of the 6 runs that the Austin Greyhounds have put on the board. Walked and scored in the first, walked and scored in the second, hit by a pitch in the 4th, singled and scored in the 6th. Now a chopper down the third base line goes foul, so we'll stay right here at no balls and 2 strikes to Alex Ciola, facing the new pitcher from the Wilmer Rails. It's Patrick Courtney. He got the first batter, the number 9 hitter in the order, Isaac Schumacher. On the attempted bunt, he threw him out at first base. Now misses up and away. Ciola's not going to chase that one. Very disciplined hitter here is Ciola. Swing and a miss. Set one off the plate on the outside corner. So they finally set down Alex Ciola, the left fielder. He'll be officially 1 for 2 on the game, but that does not tell the whole story. 3 runs scored, on base 4 different times in the game. And it'll bring up Miguel Castro. It was his big 2-out, 2 RBI double in the 6th that stretched what was just a 1-run lead at 3-2 out to a 3-run lead at 5-2. Austin has since added 1 more, lead at 6-2, but that was a big blow in this game for Castro. He's got a sacrifice bunt. He struck out on a wild pitch, reached first base, struck out looking in the 4th, and then had that big double. Now here's a chopper, gonna have to be charged. On the run, makes the throw is Abe Bullard, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Courtney and the Pirates. So good job by Courtney to come in and keep that deficit right where it's at 4. You always want to stay within 4 runs in any ball game. You don't want to get behind by more than what one swing of the bat could tie up. But we're going to head to the 9th inning. Looks like it's going to be Brady Schroeder's to close out here. And we'll be back with that top half of the 9th for you after this timeout.
The Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
All right, last chance time here for the Pirates. 6, 7, and 8. Lusink, Stanley, and Bierke are the scheduled batters, and they'll face Brady Schroeder, who struck out the side in the 8th inning in his first inning of work. So he'll try to close things out here for the Austin Greyhounds and have them advance into the second round of this amateur state baseball tournament here in Waconia. They play also in Chaska and Hamburg, and a foul back to the screen by Lusink. So no balls and 2 strikes. So once again, Brady Schroeder comes out firing strikes. Schroeder pitches for the Red Wing Aces. The 27-year-old played college ball at Winona State. And a weak ground ball to second. Torres is going to have to hurry. He bobbles it, and that's going to be enough to let Lusink get on to first base. I don't know if Torres would have been able to come up and make that strong enough throw to get it, but they are going to charge Lusink they're going to charge an error on Torres to allow Lusink to get on base. So life here for Paynesville. They need base runners, and that's a good start after falling behind 0-2 in the count. Garrett Lusink is able to get enough bat on the ball to get it past the pitcher Schroeder and out to Torres at second base, who bobbled it enough to allow Lusink to reach the base. Torres knew he would have to hurry that throw. Dropped the ball in the process, and now here's Tanner Stanley, who's given significant trouble to Austin on base all 3 times. 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, but he flares at that 0-2 offering and misses. So a strikeout, the 4th strikeout for Brady Schroeder. We're going to get a pinch hitter coming up here for Paynesville. 15, Grant Fuchs will come up. Why not have another Fuchs make an appearance here in the game? So he'll bat for Bierke. Will Grant Fuchs. Fuchs is one of the elders. He's 23. And shoots one. Knocked down by Castro. Steps on the bag, gets the out there. Throws down to second, but not in time to get Lusink. So a hard ground ball, first pitch swinging right at the first baseman, who was able to make the play. Miguel Castro, 3 unassisted. Did throw it down, thinking he might be able to get Lusink on the tag out double play, but nothing doing. But they do get the out at first base. So down to their last out here is the Paynesville Pirates. Austin looking to close out a first round victory here and move on to the second round. Sam Orline will lift one foul. So as he's done quite often, Schroeder ahead in the count. No balls and one strike. Curve ball catches the outside corner, so Schroeder keeping those Pirates off balance. He's got 4 strikeouts out of the 5 outs he's recorded, looking to get one more and help advance Austin into the second round of the tournament. Here's a little chopper to Castro. It's going to be a race to the base. Schroeder gets the ball, wins the race, and that's going to do it. As a 3-1 putout, Castro to Schroeder covering will erase Sam Orline and close this one out for the Austin Greyhounds, and they will advance in the tournament to take on the St. Patrick Irish, the top seed out of Region 3. But Austin gets strong 5 innings of relief from the relief pitcher, Drew Copley. He'll get credit for the win. He did get help in the plate from the starting pitcher in the game, Nelson. 3 hits on the day, drove in a couple of RBIs. So 3 hits and 2 RBIs for Nelson. It was a big RBI double for Nestor Jimenez and an 2 RBI double for Miguel Castro in the 6th. And that was enough offense to get the Austin Greyhounds off to the second round of this state tournament. And we're going to have an interview here with the player of the game, Nelson, and we'll listen in on that interview.
Next week you're going to take on St. Patrick. Austin Greyhound Nation is coming up. What do you guys have to say? I think maybe the rowdiest fans so far in the tournament. Yeah, I would say that there's one of the kids are great. When they come, they show up, and they do it. It's a lot of fun doing the team. And then cheering behind us. Nelson, your player of the game. Everybody, round of applause. Stay tuned. We have a little bit of rain coming, but we'll be with you.
So that was Nelson, the player of the game, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, helping lead the Austin Greyhounds to a victory over the Paynesville Pirates. Austin moves on. Paynesville will see their season come to a close, but it was a good year for the Paynesville Pirates qualifying for this state tournament. They came to Waconia, put up a fight. They fell behind 3-0. They scratched their way back in it, cut the lead down to 3-2, but it was a big 2-out, 2 RBI double from Miguel Castro that built the lead back up to 5-2. Austin would add one more and close out a 6-2 victory over the Paynesville Pirates. So glad to bring this one to you from Waconia. Hopefully we got one more left that we're going to be able to get in. The Young America Cardinals and the St. Clair Wood Ducks have to feel a little bit snake bit. They got rained out on Friday night as a deluge of rain came through Waconia on Friday night, and now after a beautiful day for 3 ball games, now it's starting to rain here again in Waconia, and you look at the radar and it looks like there might be some lightning coming this direction as well. So we'll have to see if we're going to be able to get this ball game in, but I know they're going to try and do everything they can, because this would be the conclusion of this first round with these 7 o'clock games here on Sunday night. We were scheduled to be done here after this one, but with the rain out on Friday, we got another game coming. So if you got the package, make sure that you join us for that one here from Waconia. Otherwise, thank you for joining us here for game number 3. It was the Austin Greyhounds, 6 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. The Paynesville Pirates, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. For our production crew from Lions Field in Waconia, we bid you a good evening.